Welcome back. This segment of the Sports Source brought to you by Games and Things. So you've got the big screen TV and the surround sound speakers. What about the home theater seats? And even if you don't have the high-tech equipment, how can you make your current living room feel like a man cave, like a theater room? Home theater seats. No one has a better selection of home theater seats than Games and Things. Get out and see their showroom at the corner of Kingston Pike and Lovell Road. Visit them online at ourgameroom.com, because life should be fun. Games and Things, man, they do it for you. They'll turn your house into a showplace. Games and Things. All right, let's take a look quickly at the SEC scoreboard. Tennessee knocks off Florida, as we said. Georgia, not a very impressive win versus Kent State. You wonder if that might knock them from number one. Somebody else might jump them on just stylistic points. Auburn beats Missouri as Missouri fumbles going in for the game-winning score. Untouched, just drops the ball. Mississippi State over Bowling Green. Ole Miss struggles with Tulsa. Kentucky doesn't exactly put away Northern Illinois. Texas A&M wins over Arkansas in a bizarre game. Alabama does what it does to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt does what it does against Alabama. LSU, who Tennessee's going to see next in 2 weeks, whips up on New Mexico. And South Carolina puts away Charlotte. Gentlemen, we do this every week. I ask Chuck, Josh, and Jimmy to put Tennessee here. And maybe we're getting to the point where Tennessee's up a notch. There's only one of them. But I said, put them here in the middle and then show me the two SEC programs ahead of them, the two beneath them, and it kind of gives us an idea of where the Vols are ranked, and we don't have to look at 1 through 14. Right. Chuck, show us your list.
I still think it's kind of status quo at the top, John. I got Georgia there. Alabama receivers looking much better yesterday. I got the Vols hanging tough at third. LSU, I've got moving up and has a big game, coming up this weekend. Believes it at Auburn. And Texas A&M that beat Arkansas. I've got them at that next spot.
All right. So
it's the definitive list. I know I'm right.
He's got the Vols and their next opponent back to back. Well, you've seen the definitive list. Let's go to the losers now. What do you idiots think? Josh.
This is closer to being correct.
Here we go.
John, but we are in agreement to start things off. Georgia and Alabama and then Tennessee. You'll notice I have Arkansas and then Texas A&M. I'll acknowledge the result last night,
right,
and then use it as a reminder that the game doesn't always tell us who the better team is. Arkansas is the better team. Texas A&M won the game.
Okay. Very good. Boy, the Texas A&M fans, if you were a pollster, they'd be sending you emails today. Jimmy Himes, where are you going?
I used to not overreact, but then I sat next to Sterling Hinton today. And then...
He's so even-keeled, though.
Yeah, well, I used to be that, too. But, yeah, I've got the top two as Georgia and Alabama, and then I've got Tennessee, and I struggle a little bit. A&M's got a better win than LSU, so I'll put A&M ahead of LSU. Arkansas I struggle with. I like their team, but they did lose. So but I've got Tennessee third. We all have Tennessee third.
I wish we had more time to let you three fight it out. That would be fun. But
well,
here,
you can't.
No. We don't have time for it. That's why I said that. Let's go to this graphic. I want to show the October schedule. It's a difficult October, or you could look at it as an October of opportunity for the Vols, which sounds like a Toyota sales event. Open date next week. Comes at a great time. Get Tillman another week off. You may not have to worry. If you'd played, it may be a letdown. I don't know with Josh Heupel, but may have had a letdown. Don't have to worry about that now with an open date. Then you are at LSU, who is 3-1. Number 2 Alabama comes to town. They're 4-0. You got the FCS team then. And then number 8 Kentucky, 4-0. Gentlemen, Tennessee's going to be top 10 going into October. What's their record out of those 4 games?
I think you're going to be looking at 2-2 split. I mean, you're going to split some of those right there. I would say 2-2 out of those 4. Seeing how that plays out.
So what you're saying is you hate the Vols. I agree with Chuck. I think 2-2 is probably the call.
And so you hate them too.
That's right. Well, clearly, I'm mixing it all up. Nobody knows what I'm doing today. I think 2-2, and I think that should be celebrated. You come out of September and October 6-2. That's a win, but now's the point where you start 4-0. If you split the next 4, well, you're falling apart. It's like no. If you're 6-2 or better than that, my goodness, what a year you're set for. I would be thrilled with 2-2. If I were a Vol fan, I'd be loving it.
Yeah, I lean 2-2 right now. LSU's quarterback Jalen Daniels went out in the game afterward. Brian Kelly said he could have come back, but that's worth monitoring over the next week. They like their backup Nussmeier too, but I lean 2-2. But yeah, if they beat LSU, then the floor of the season rises dramatically because I really like Tennessee's chances against Kentucky at home.
Yeah, it would be a bad year if this is the year you snap the the curse against Florida, and then Kentucky snaps the identical curse against you. You would hate to lose that one.
Right.
Yeah. I've got them 2-2 also. Before the year, I had Tennessee going 9-3 with one of the losses being at LSU. I'm going to stay with that. I don't think they beat Alabama. If they beat LSU, there's still the potential to lose to Kentucky because Kentucky has a good team. But I think 2-2 is what they'll come out of October with.
You guys agree with me, though, that if you're 6-2 after October,
Yeah.
Well,
that's nothing to complain about. That is a heck of a job by considering what Josh Heupel and this staff inherited and all the bodies leaving.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed they'd be 6-2 in their second year if
And
they
you're
could pull
still
it
on track
off.
to be 9-3. And
Yeah.
9-3 could potentially get you in a New Year's Six bowl game.
The other thing is we're going into October with, I think, all 4 games being winnable.
Yes.
I'm not saying they're going to win all 4 games,
That's-
but we haven't had too many Octobers where we said, even Alabama, let's see what happens in that game. So they could lose to LSU and Alabama's still a winnable game.
The thing that I think fans need to remember is all these games are going to be tight. I put up that stat earlier. Most teams in the SEC last year, or all the teams in the SEC, averaged 4 games where you gave up 30 points on defense. That means you're in a lot of shootouts.
Right.
That means you win the shootout against Florida, you may lose the shootout against LSU. And that's nothing to say, well, I knew they'd blow it. That's just what
Well,
college football is, especially in the toughest conference in the league.
at the end of the day, yeah, you're 4-0, but you've had 2 one-possession games, right? That went right down to the wire.
If Pitt hits a field goal, you're not even in overtime.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Tight game. All right, we're going to have Chuck. This is going to be tough on him, tough on us. He's going to set the line for Tennessee LSU 2 weeks in advance. Good luck. We'll do that next. Come on back on the Sports Source.